her dick would have been in. George, my boy, I don't know how you do this. Pang. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I am, part of me is like, why even release this video? Because there's elements of it which I'm just like, I could have done better. But this is the eating and training like George Osborne video. Although I think I could have changed certain elements of this video to make it better, I'm just going to release it because I've got more videos that I need to release now. So I am a little bit ill, so you're going to hear a little bit of a bunged up voiceover, but I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. Okay, so training like George Osborne. This was challenging, I will say. I think the main challenge will come up in a few minutes, but here's me just going through some activation exercises. George doesn't really tend to go too much into his activation exercises, but I just picked my two staples, which is a cable pullover and then a low cable row. With any exercise, any workout, I always do a pre-activation exercise. It's just something to be able to connect a little bit better, but also warm up into a movement properly. So these are the low cable rows, just getting a full extension and then full contraction on each portion of the movement. Pretty much your staples, really, I would say. I think most people warm up with a cable pullover and then a row. Then also doing a very light, well, just warm up set with the bar of barbell rows before going into the barbell rows. So with this workout, I just took it from one of George's videos. I actually wrote it in the comment section as well, and then I double checked with George himself if the workout was correct. There's a couple of exercises which I had to use alternate exercises for, but nonetheless we got it done. Goodness me, this cold is killing me. So barbell rows, this is actually, what weight is this? 130 kilos. For me, I really hate it when people use loads of plates and there's 25 kilo plates there. So in general, I just use the biggest plates. I don't like slamming loads and loads of small plates onto a bar just so it looks bigger. I would rather just focus on getting my workout done rather than picking up loads of plates and useless. Anyway, so this is the back off set of barbell rows. I quite liked the top set, down set method. It's something which I do similarly myself, but I'll do 2 top sets and then 2 down sets. George does 1 down set. This is the first set of Tbar row. Now, ideally, I would have used small plates on this, but the small plates you can only fit a certain amount. So instead on this, I went and used, I think those are all 20s. So only 80 kilos on there, and then the next set I took up a little bit in weight, so it's 90 kilos. We used a rope on this exercise. I don't know why I just referred to myself as we, but I used a rope on this exercise for a little bit more range of movement. Certainly something which I would recommend to people that do. If you don't have a T-bar set up like a machine where you can have different attachments on it, then I would recommend using a rope instead of a close grip pull down, because that close grip, the triangle grip pull down, you can't get much range of movement. So this exercise here is a alternate to the unilateral lat pull down. The only thing I could really do was this movement with a supinated grip. I couldn't really think of any other way that I could do it really, so that's what I did in change of the unilateral lat pull down. Obviously it's a single arm exercise normally, but with that bar attachment, it's not a single arm anymore. George, my boy, I don't know how you do this. I am boiling. I'm afraid I'm going to have to take this off, but it does make a good video title. I couldn't complete it, a little bit of clickbait. Boiling. So yes, I did have to take the jumper off. It was, I mean, it's a couple of exercises in. It is the middle of summer, and my gym has a metal roof, so it gets pretty damn hot in there. But yeah, I don't know how George does it. I think he does wear shorts majority of the time, but even still, I can't do that. I'm not someone that sweats a lot, but I just get very, very hot. I used to be in the fire service, if you didn't know, and even then I wouldn't sweat that much. So even though I drink loads as well, I'll easily finish a gallon in my workout. In that workout, intra-workout, there is a scoop of Carbomax and a scoop of EAAs. So George also takes a fairly substantial amount of stuff intra-workout. I think he uses HMB and things like that. I don't. So this is the chest-supported row. I believe George had a supinated grip on his supinated row as well. I had to kind of make some adjustments to the workout as I didn't have all the exercises that George has. It was a chest-supported underhand row, that one. The next one here is a dual cable pull-down. Again, 2 sets. Everything pretty much is 2 top sets of 8 to 10, and then 1 down set of 12 to 15. Except for the last 3 exercises, which I'll go through after this. I do quite like this exercise. Generally, I use this as a pre-activation exercise as well. But I didn't want to put a warm-up and a pre-activation as both the same exercises, so that's why I used the cable pull down at the beginning. The reason I like using it as a warm-up is because it's single arm, like you can use unilateral, but the cable pull down, the cable pullover isn't. So you also get a little bit of oblique and abdominal activation when you come down. You don't want to hunch over too much, but as long as you're pinning yourself down, pinning your elbows towards the ground, you will get lots of activation. Now, this exercise I don't really use because I find the range of movement is so minimal, and if you are to use cables instead, so to do like a reverse cable fly, you can get much better range of movement. Because when you come to the front, you basically, there's another like half a meter where you can bring your hands in. So I prefer a different exercise to hit my rear delts, but it sufficed nonetheless. I do find as well on this machine, your traps get quite a lot of activation because you're not really able to bend your elbows so much, because if you bend your elbows, then you reduce the range of movement coming inwards even more. But with cables, less trap activation. So I would recommend you try that. Now, this exercise is obviously the preacher curl, but I didn't have a preacher station in my machine, so I used the incline squat machine, which is probably the best use for this machine. It is a pretty awful machine in my opinion. The angle, the ergonomics, it's just not a good machine. But we used it for barbell preacher curls instead. So yeah, pretty good. I might actually use this again in the future. I got a couple of weird looks, but it actually worked very well. And as setups go, it was pretty easy. Not many people use this machine, so it's normally pretty readily available. Then the last exercise is cable curls. Now, normally in this workout, I would do some occluded bicep work. I don't normally do 2 workouts of biceps that aren't occluded. So generally my second pull workout, which will have biceps in it, will have some occluded work in it. So the first is non-occluded, and then the second one of the week is occluded. And I do the same with tricep work as well. I very much enjoy occluded work. There's nothing really magical about it. It's just a different way of creating metabolic stress, but I enjoy it. So here's a physique update. Obviously, I'm in my off season. I just come off a photo shoot, so I'm a little bit leaner than I would be in my full off season. Had that week away in Portugal where I was doing the fitness modelling. And of course, George is #2lean at the moment. He's in his competition prep and looking very good for it. He's going to be extremely shredded when he goes into his show. So at the moment, our physiques are a little bit chalk and cheese, you may say. We're a little bit at the opposites of the spectrum, but we're both going to be competing in UK DFBA. I've competed with UK DFBA several times, and my next competition year will be 2020. So I doubt I'd be competing with George, as I'm sure he's probably going to want to go into a nice long off season after this set of shows. But you never know, maybe later on in the future we'll step on the same stage. I am looking to go into bodybuilding in the future. Previous competitions have all been men's physique, but my last off season the legs have grown a little bit. Still waiting for the hamstrings to work, but you know, it is what it is. Doctors, man, they got the cars. Nice little Ferrari there. There's always nice cars outside the doctors. Here we go. This is the pussy wagon for me, George. Pussy wagon or pussy mobile? I can never remember. Pussy wagon is from Kill Bill. Pussy mobile, I think, is from George. Right, that is training done. Now, the title of this video is Eating and Training Like George. I'm going to explain a little bit about that now.
Alongside Nave Small's Grease Mode Plus. Pop it, lock it, sell it, rob it.
People are pissing me off today. Everything's pissing me off. Stupid drivers. The woman behind me at the checkout, if she was a dude, her dick would have been in my arse. She was standing that close behind me. We wait for the heart rate to come to the low 70s. 72, it's not too bad, I'll take that. And then we introduce the post-workout. Let's get a bit of a close-up. I'm going to enjoy this, have my ashwagandha with this as it is my post-workout, and then that is the video. As I explained, normally I would be doing the full day of people's eating, but George is on prep. I'm in my off season, my gaining phase. So in hindsight, I could have actually just done one of George's refeed days. I feel like this video has been a little bit lazy, so I do apologise. So I'm sure George would understand. I'm committing to my phase and he's committing to his. So thank you very much for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed. If you are new, subscribe. I'm sure you'll like this channel if you like George's content as well. Have a good one. Peace. Hang.